Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and future. Hopefully, an exciting future if we get the players we need. Joining me this afternoon in Newsbeat is my usual co-host, and this is a joint stream on Spurs Between Your Lines. Is my usual co-host Mia. How are you, Mia?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Okay then, I'm good, thank you very much. I hope everyone's doing good this afternoon on another sunny day here down by the beach.
Yeah, it is a lovely, lovely sunny day. And look, well, let's see who's in the house first, Mia, and we'll welcome a few people in, and then we will get on with it. Yeah, we've got Jose Garcia, big up. It says afternoon, guys and girls. We've got Terry White, good afternoon, all. We've got Kate in, good afternoon, you lovely lot. Terry White saying, big up, Kate. We've got Wembley one in. Mia, can you take over the comments here?
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry.
We have got, Wembley saying, good afternoon, everyone. Why is my optimism from last week when Ange's appointment was announced already starting to fade? The one thing I can be sure of is that there's nothing to do with Ange. Oh, that's not good. We don't want any of that scepticism. Come on, Wembley. Hopefully, we'll get some signings in and that will bring a bit more positivity. Maybe that's what will happen. Terry right here is saying, would love to see this rare deal get done soon. It'd be great to start this summer's transfer window. Yeah, that's what I think. I think if we get this rare deal over the line, I think that would probably make people feel a little bit better about it. We've got Dragging These Nuts saying big g'day. So g'day, mates. Yeah. Sorry, I've got someone in the background who is thinking that is very funny. So yes, his name is that. Amen to that. Yep, absolutely. Kate Boxall.
Sorry, Mia, my computer froze. So
no problem.
Just correct, Craig. You're well, Terry. She's saying, doing well, Kate. Are you done all that?
I've done all the chat. I've done it.
All right, thank you.
No worries.
But anyway, well, let's kick on with Newsbeat and let's kick on with the first bit of story we got. Now, I am expecting breaking news during this stream. Now, my source has gone into a meeting this morning, or whoever the information getting off is waiting for a meeting to come out today at Tottenham. So I was supposed to have something about 2:33. Now he's just coming back to me now. So I'll wait for him to see if there's any update. But the first bit of news, Mia, is Heung-min Son underwent sports hernia surgery after Tottenham season. So do you know what do you think that was a problem with Son this season, that he was actually carrying an injury?
Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, because a lot of players, they do play through injuries. A hernia can be pretty painful, but a sports hernia, I'm not sure what that entails, but still, it would be obviously quite painful.
And the truth, look, Mia, if this is one of the reasons, then it would make sense why, to be fair. Yeah. It really would. But look, that was the fact. And then this other bit of news that Tottenham confirmed departure of a member of the coaching team, which is the academy manager. And I shall bring up there now. His name is Dean Ranstrick. Tottenham Hotspur have confirmed that Dean Ranstrick has departed the club at his role as academy manager to pursue other opportunities. Ranstrick has been at Tottenham for 13 years since first joining the club from Norwich City back in the summer of 2010. He initially joined the club as the academy performance manager before being promoted to the role of the club's academy manager in 2017. His good work eventually saw him assume full responsibility for the academy program 3 years ago. So are you surprised to see him go, Mia?
Do you know what? I think that our academy hasn't been that great. So I think actually I'm not that surprised that it has happened, to be honest. And maybe this is a part of the overhaul that Tottenham are thinking to do. So, maybe not that shocked.
Look, they did win 2 trophies this season. Let's not forget that.
Oh no, they did, but he's going to pursue other opportunities. Yeah. But we don't know exactly what went on in the background with it all. But you know, it is what it is. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, our under 21s, or they got relegated. So
it did. It was the under 18s.
It's been a bit of a mixed season.
Yeah. the under-18s and the under-16s, I think, won trophies, and
Under
then
17s, I think.
under
Was it under
17s,
17s?
yeah. I'm just expecting some news. I'm just waiting for it to come through. So hold your horses. We could get a few. We've got Ellie in the house. She says, "Hey, Mia, Aussie accent needs a bit of work, but not as much as my Irish accent." And Ellie said, "Jose, Jose, I'm used to this with." All right, just read out. Sorry, Mia. I just got. Can you just talk about something for 2 minutes? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. Wembley here is saying this can only be seen as good news. The pipeline of generally promising youngsters through the first team has been virtually bone dry for several years now. Look at Arsenal and Chelsea by comparison. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm not maybe so upset or so shocked by it, because I think that yes, we've had success with the younger ones, but our 21s we haven't. So yeah, this could be a start of something new. Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah, that's true. We've got Ellie saying news, glorious news. Jose says, I've taken the plunge and ain't got a clue what I'm doing. Fair enough. And we've got Kane saying, hey, Ellie. Look, right. Right. First bit of breaking news is Harry Kane is hoping to be staying and working with Ange at Tottenham at least for the next 6 to 12 months. This doesn't mean that he won't leave, but it seems to have accepted that he won't leave Tottenham this summer, especially with the Mbappe news that has come out. Real Madrid still keeping tabs on Kane, but Mbappe is now their preferred target. So that is the first bit of breaking news that's come out of that meeting, Ellie and Mia. And what do you reckon to that?
I think it was going to be pretty obvious that that was going to happen, but I'm not happy about it. No, I think that if he doesn't want to sign, then he should go. I've always said this all along. So for me, I don't want to be keeping someone who doesn't want to be committed to the club. I can see it from the other side why some people might want to, but for me, no, I don't think he should stay. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, look, for me, if he's happy, then sign a 1-year extension. For me, if you're not happy, then just leave, one or the other. But you can't keep playing this every summer. We have the same thing. It turns into the Harry Kane show. Now, maybe it's not Harry Kane doing this. Maybe it's his representatives, his brother. Do you know what I mean? That's really ramping up the pressure on one way or the other. But if he doesn't want to go, just sign a year's extension. Players at that age only sign 1 to 2 year contracts extensions anyway. So sign a year's extension, take it on, and then if you want to leave. Just just do something. Come out and say something, because saying nothing is just silence is golden, isn't it? Really, the silence is really golden. Now, Mia, we have got, luckily enough, from a friend of ours, I've got a signed Emerson Royale shirt, which we are going to do a competition. And the competition needs to enter. You've got to put in a €2 super chat. Now, all this money from the super chats is going to somewhere else. It's not going to us as a channel. But we will provide proof. We'll provide proof and everything to where it's going. So that was suggested, but we will continue to say that. Hence, what has gone on in the community over the last month or so. So to enter this competition this week's going to run for 4 weeks. So this week, Philip set a question, and the question was, who was the manager of the 1960-61 double winning side? If you want to enter, put a €2 super chat, you enter it, we take your name down, and then we put you in the name of the hat. This is a proper Royal McCoy 100% proper signed shirt from Emerson Royale. It's got all the certificates with it and everything. So that is the competition. And Mia, for people in your channel, they can and what we're going to do is as well, we're going to put your patrons in the list as well, Mia, on your channel. So if anyone signs up as a patron to Mia, then you would automatically also go into the competition as well. Do you think that's fair, Mia?
Yeah, absolutely. And for the 4 weeks, whoever whoever becomes a Patreon member, them people, their money, I will put as a donation as myself as well. I'll make the donation from that. But obviously, it'd be if you can continue to be a member, that would obviously be fantastic because my minimum is £2. So you could become a member for £2.
Yeah, and also while you're there, pick up a membership for this channel. It's $2.99. It's cheaper than Netflix. But if you want to enter this competition, it's done by a €2 super chat. And the question this week, I will put it up in the chat. Who was the manager of Spurs from 1960-61? So if you want to get involved and win yourself an Emerson Royal shirt and go to Spurs next season with that shirt or put it in a frame or whatever, that's how you enter that competition. Now, Mia, we've got this little bit of breaking. Well, it's not breaking news, but I saw this news this morning, Mia, and it got me thinking. Right, so Postecoglou already has his own Bernardo Silva as he plots Tottenham transfer master plan. Now, who would you think at Tottenham? Now, before I read the article, I went through a few players myself. So who do you think he might be talking about, Mia? Just before we sort of bring up the article.
For the life of me, I can't think of anyone on that comparison to really say. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he was talking about Brian Hill. That's what he was talking about, and this is what the article is. Brian Hill will be hoping it is a case of third time lucky for him at Tottenham during the 23-24 campaign. Now set to enter his third season as a Spurs player, the Spaniard will work under a third different head coach following Ange Postecoglou's appointment 1 week ago. Rated extremely highly in Spain and brought the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a deal worth 21.6 million, with Eric Lamela joining Seville as part of the agreement. The Lila Whites have yet to see the best of the 22-year-old during his short time in the capital. This is mainly due to the real lack of minutes coming his way under both Nuno and Conte. Look, I'm a very big fan of Brian Hill. I really am. Love him. I think he's Gil Messi, and I agree with people calling him Gil Messi. You look how he's performed for Seville, and you look how he played in the final as well. Do you think that he can now flourish under Postecoglou at Tottenham?
I think under Postecoglou, I think that he's probably the right kind of manager for Hill. I think that he's probably got the right amount of being a bit like strict and firm, but also putting an arm around him as well. He does need to beef him up a little bit, though. I do feel like he's still a little bit slight, but I think that Postecoglou is probably a good fit for Hill, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mia. I'm just putting in some more breaking news. I'm getting news all the time from the source.
The tomato sauce.
We've got final. Yeah, okay. So let me. I'm just putting them in the chat now. So let me look. From my point of view in this, Hill has to be given the chance this current season. I think give him a fair crack at the whip, and I think he can become our own Bernardo Silva. I really do. He's very talented. He's only 22 years of age. Get a bit of meat on him, Mia, and he can be a handful. You've seen what he's like when he's came on against Marseille. He got the penalty that Richarlison equalised with in that game in the Champions League. So do you think that he's other men like Nuno or Conte have looked and thought, do you know what? Not for me, but under Postecoglou, you might think, do you know what? He's my type of player.
Yeah, I think that he probably does suit. They suit each other. I think that Ange will appreciate that he's a young guy. He's speedy. I think there's a lot of positives to him that Postecoglou will see. Absolutely, and I think he'll probably will like Ange if he puts his arm around him and says, "Come on, we can do good, mate. Put some shrimps on the barbie. Let's go." I'm sure that he will be. I think he will be suitable.
Right. Did you read the bottom comment there, Mia?
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I look. I'm not even going to go into that.
Yeah, let's just ignore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I am going to say I'm getting really pissed off were some people taking the piss out of me just because I'm dyslexic, and I may spell some things wrong on the thumbnail. Do you know, nobody's perfect. Irritated is actually a better word than what I said, so I apologize for the word I said. But it's not my fault, okay? And for that person, I've already blocked him. But he seems to be going on to other channels and taking the mickey out of other people. He needs to stop it. Do you know, he's done it to Mia, he's done it to me, he's done it to other people. And, do you know, he won't be mentioned again. But I'm just really getting irritated by it a bit, Miss. Sorry, Mia.
That's fine. I just, like I say, for me, just block them and that's it. Move on. We move.
Yeah. Right. I'm getting news all the time from my sources, banging them in. The rumours of Son being unhappy that we reported yesterday, Mia, were greatly overstated. Son's representatives have quashed all the speculation on Son wanting out of the club and insists he loves the club. Now, do you think this is more Daniel Levy thinking, "Oh God, if Son goes, I'm going to lose a pipeline"? Or do you know a commercial pipeline into the club, or do you think Sonny genuinely does love the club?
I think that Sonny genuinely loves the club. I think that he's proved it time and time again where he's put his name on the dotted line to say he wants to stay. So I do think he loves the club, and I think it works. It works both for Levy in that way, but I think Son, like I say, genuinely does have a genuine love for Tottenham and the fans.
Yeah. Look, for me, Sonny is a great player. There's no doubt in that. Look, he had an off season last season, but I think that was more of a reaction to the season before when he won the Golden Boot, if you know what I mean. And I think you look at Harry Kane, he can consistently, season after season after season, being the club's top goal scorer or being in the top 2 or 3 or the top 3 of the Premier League top goal scorers. That's not really Sonny's game. And I think it took an awful lot for Sonny to do that last season. And you look at other sports, you look at drivers that win a Formula One World Championship or a boxer who wins a World Heavyweight title. Once they've reached their goal or they've reached the mountain of what they want to do, they seem to drop off. And do you think it was always Sonny was always going to have a drop off this season, considering he scaled the heights of being the league's top goal scorer, winning the Golden Boot the previous season?
I think obviously it's quite a high expectation to have the following season, and it doesn't help with the way that he was played. So I do kind of see that he definitely had a bit of an off season, like an off season, and he can definitely do better. So I think there was a number of things. And if he has had this operation, could it be that he was in significant pain for some of it?
Yeah, could be. Could be. We've also got another bit of news on Raya, which we were going to bring up, but we are going to bring this. I sent this bit of news to Mia this morning, the Chelsea part, and I won't repeat what Mia said, which was quite funny, her reaction. If we were to mention it, I think we'd both get struck off YouTube, wouldn't we, Mia, to be fair?
Probably, yeah.
But anyway, final discussions with Brentford over the fee for Raya are continuing. Now, I read somewhere they're looking around the market, Mia, of 20 to 25 million Tottenham are willing to pay, not the 40 million.
Yeah.
Brentford are very unlikely to drop lower their valuation of the player. Chelsea are ready to swoop in and steal. Now, we all know Chelsea can come in and say, right, we're off you 40 million. There's your player. There's your money. We'll take the player. This is like a question, especially with the whole transfer market opening tomorrow, Mia. Are Tottenham and clubs like Tottenham got one hand tied behind their back when it comes to transfer market? Because of the likes of the Man Cities and the Chelseas and teams like that are state-backed, that are backed by like the UAE state or Qatar or Saudi Arabia. Are we fighting with one hand behind our back here till we get some massive backing ourselves?
No, I think that if we did it quick enough, I think there wouldn't be a problem. But the fact is, we don't want to pay that money, which is fair because actually Man United don't want to pay that money. But I've also heard that Chelsea are going in for Unana and that they're set on actually getting him. So I'm hoping that they're going to concentrate all their powers on that. So yeah, but we're always going to be gazumped by those kind of teams anyway, in a way. They're bigger teams than us. So unfortunately, if we're going for the same players, we've got very little chance at the moment of getting them. And that is just the way it is at the moment.
Then we've got another one here. Well, look, I think we lowball teams anyway, Mia. We know that. That's the way we do. That's how we do our transfer market. We don't go in and say, look, we're going to pay you what you want to get the player. We always looking for a deal, if you know what I mean. Do you think that's more Levy's way of dealing with it, or do you think when they see Tottenham coming, well, let's hike up the price because it's Tottenham?
I'm not entirely sure, really. I just think that the price was set high in general. I think they just did say that it was going to be that much, but his agent wanted it lowered because even they knew it was too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that his agent even was questioning how much it was. I don't think it's nothing to do with Tottenham. I think that it's just they set this ridiculously high. I think personally ridiculously high, considering they've got another goalkeeper already lined up. So
Yeah, I know it is ridiculous, man. Well, this is Chris. This is another bit of news here. These news is being fed to me as we speak. So every time, so drip by drip, breaking news. Crystal Palace and Eze is on Angie's watch list. If and only some of the other deals don't go through. So he said, I've been told to keep an eye on this one. Look, Eze is a good player. I wouldn't mind him at Tottenham, but I would take Zaha as well. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't take Zaha. I'm not a big fan of Zaha, but I would definitely take Eze. I really like Eze. He's a very good player.
Yeah, I would too. And would you swap him with one of the players of ours and like do a bit of a swap?
Who would Crystal Palace realistically want from ours?
Dyer, Sanchez.
Maybe we could do like a package deal. They can have Winks as well.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. No, apparently Zaha's going to Saudi Arabia.
Let him. I just don't rate him. I don't rate him at all, personally.
Well, he went to Man United, didn't he? And
then he come back.
Yeah.
He's not got it, man. He just hasn't got it, in my opinion.
Mandy and Kepa are both for sale. Out of them two, who would you take? I'd take Kepa.
Mendy and Kepa, I don't want either. Mendy's like a bit too rash, and Kepa thinks he's a manager as well because he likes to do whatever the heck he likes.
Oh, he refused to come off, didn't he, in the Champions League final?
Yeah. No, it was a cup. Was it? It was a cup.
League Cup final.
Yeah.
League Cup, yeah, against.
So he thinks he's player manager. No, thank you. Not with that attitude. I don't want Kepa.
Yeah, Mendy. We've got the Sable team. Big up Dermot and me.
Ages. I hope you're well because I know that Stuart wasn't very well. So I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. And also, I'm sorry about your team going down as well. Leeds being relegated. So yeah. But big up the disabled teams. Always great to see you in. This other bit of news I've got: Tottenham will not bow to the demands of Manchester United, and the price tag that has been set for Sancho by the Red Devils is being stated that they will not be offering the asking amount.
No surprise. I wasn't shocked. It's too much.
And if United want them off their books, they'll have to come down and match the offer some by Spurs. Look, we talked about Sancho yesterday. Now, I would have been quite happy for Sancho to be at Spurs. Because I think he's a good player. He does do his job. But what would a realistic transfer fee for you be, Mia, if you were offering them?
Do you know what? Realistically, considering what he hasn't actually done at Man U, but he had previously done, probably 40. Yeah. 45.
Yeah, and the big up the Sabres. Got Terry says, I agree, Daniel. I think Rhea deal could be done by the end of the week. Yeah, I think so too. I'm hearing it will be done by the end of the week. Big up Daniel Field as well for coming in. Me, oh my God, please, Eze, and another double swoop for Michael Olise as well. Ooh,
I love Elise.
I
Elise
do too.
is absolutely brilliant. He's so talented. I was saying this was nice. As soon as I saw him, I was just like, wow, this player. Like, he's very good.
Right, so there's more news to come, Mia. So that's the Sancho bit done now. This is Newcastle are leading the race for Madison as it stands. Ange has other targets in mind if he misses out. Look, we all knew he would go to Newcastle basically for the money and basically they're in Champions League. So we knew him coming to us would be a tough task. Do you think with Ange being in charge that some of these players now are going to have second thoughts? I think, do you know what? If it was like a Conte or Poch in charge at Tottenham, would other players come because they know what the managers have done in the Premier League? Do you think with Ange it's a bit of an unknown situation of if I come, will he work? Will he won't work? Will he be there by Christmas? Will Tottenham? Do you know what I mean? Is this playing against Tottenham as well this window because of the manager we've gone through? I know he's won stuff up at Celtic, but managing in the Premier League's a different kettle of fish. So do you?
I think it just depends on what kind of player we're going for. Because if we're going to players that are like young, hungry players, I don't think it matters. But Maddison's obviously got his sights set on the Champions League. His team's just been relegated. Does he want to go through another battle with a team like Tottenham? Probably not. So I kind of get it. And the position that we're in, I think that it is what it is. Sorry. It is what it is, kind of thing. I think that it's a difficult one, but I do think that I understand why because Tottenham really isn't much to offer at the moment. I don't think it's Ange. I think it's just the general feel around Tottenham. But I think Ange will have players that are young and hungry that will be happy to work with him.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to go back to the chat in a minute, and Kate's just in there ahead of me as well, saying the same thing. But Tottenham have tabled a 90 million euro bid for Galatasaray, Victor Nelson. Look? I haven't seen much of him. I don't know much of him, but what have you heard of him, Mia?
I haven't heard a great deal, but I've heard good things. I've heard that people give him positive. I think there's a few other teams in for him as well, from what I can hear, from what I heard and what I read. So I'm not sure how good that link is with him. I've read it, but I couldn't find the actual source of it. But definitely.
Yeah.
Not a bad signing, I wouldn't have thought, but I don't think we're going to get him personally.
For what I understand, HOPTSPUR, I don't think he has signed his new deal. And this is why we're putting in a bid. And the disabled team here with a good question. With all the low bids for Tottenham, what I think he's trying to say, why with all the low bids? I mean, why do we always go in low?
As I gave an example before, you don't go and buy a car. Well, most people don't, and you go in there thinking you're going to pay that price, because what happens is you always overprice a car because you know that people are going to want to haggle down, and then when people haggle down, they think they've got a bargain, but really that's the price you wanted. So you always put the price up high, knowing that people were going to haggle. So you've got to try and drop the price a bit and haggle a little bit, which is normal, I think.
Yeah. Darren says, I don't think he's going to Newcastle as Madison. I think he'll be a Spurs player in his opinion. Beyond 72, big up, it says, and a better future ahead. And then we've got Danny saying, big up. Dermatron, we've got Terry White. Madison is in Hampton. He wants Champions League football, and I think that's going to be true. And then the Sable team, great keeper is David Rhea. Mia, listen, that's a bit all the news, really. There really hasn't been a lot round today, has there?
No, there actually hasn't. To be honest, there hasn't been that much at all.
It's been very, very quiet. So what we'll do is we'll end the show off there. If I hear anything more, we'll come back later and break it. But I'm waiting on some big news. So this is why I'm sort of waiting till later. So me and Mia will be back later and discuss more. So listen, whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take care. And whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. In Ange we trust.
In Ange we trust.